Michelle was a bright, compassionate nursing student who dreamed of helping others. Born on October 3rd, 1984 in San Diego, California, she was the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants who fled their war-torn homeland in the 1970s. Her parents endured a harrowing journey by boat and time in refugee camps before eventually settling in California. They embraced American culture while preserving their cherished Vietnamese traditions, creating a loving and supportive environment for Michelle and her younger brother, Michael. Growing up in the close-knit Rancho Peñasquitos neighborhood, Michelle was surrounded by family and community. Her mother, a dedicated nurse, served as a profound inspiration, encouraging Michelle to follow in her footsteps. As the eldest of 15 cousins, Michelle often took on a caregiving role, nurturing her siblings and cousins like a second mother. Her warmth, intelligence, and ambition made her a bright light in the lives of those around her. However, tragedy struck in 1994 when Michelle's mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Keeping her illness a secret, she shielded her children from the harsh reality until her passing in 1999. The loss profoundly affected 14-year-old Michelle, who stepped up to care for her younger brother Michael as they moved in with their aunt. During these challenging years, Michelle leaned on her cousin Christina for support, forming a bond that carried them both through their teenage struggles. Michelle's life took a positive turn when she met Giselle Esteban, a fellow immigrant from a Filipino-American family during her high school years. The two girls shared similar backgrounds and aspirations, dreaming of careers in healthcare. They graduated in 2002 and moved to San Francisco for college, seeking independence and opportunities. While their friendship flourished initially, Michelle's determination to honor her mother's legacy as a nurse remained unwavering. In 2010, Michelle achieved a major milestone, gaining acceptance into an accelerated nursing program at Samuel Merritt University in Oakland, California. The rigorous one-year program required her full dedication, and Michelle balanced her studies with work and personal responsibilities. However, the demands of her new path caused her friendship with Giselle to fade over time. On May 27, 2011, Michelle's promising future was tragically cut short. It was a Friday evening, and Michelle was completing her clinical training at a hospital in Hayward, California. She told her classmates she was stepping out to her car during a break, but never returned. Concern grew quickly when she failed to answer her phone or return home that night. As investigators delved into Michelle's life, they uncovered troubling clues pointing to someone from her past. Evidence quickly led to Giselle Esteban, a former friend of Michelle's who harbored intense jealousy and resentment toward her. After moving San Francisco for college, Giselle met a man named Scott and fell madly in love with him. Eventually, Giselle became pregnant and had a daughter with Scott. However, their relationship didn't last long and they broke up. The issue was that Scott and Michelle stayed friends, something Giselle simply couldn't tolerate. She wasn't having it at all. In fact, Giselle blamed Michelle for the breakup even though it wasn't her fault. The tension stemmed from the fact that Michelle and Scott had briefly dated before Scott and Giselle got together. Giselle, who turned out to be quite jealous, an understatement really, was convinced that Michelle and Scott were secretly having an affair, but they weren't. During Scott and Gisele's relationship, Michelle had been a good friend to both of them. Yet Gisele, fueled by her insecurities, couldn't shake the suspicion of something more going on. It was all in her head. But that didn't make the situation any easier for Michelle. Gisele believed Michelle had interfered in her relationship with an ex-boyfriend, fueling an obsession that spiraled out of control. Surveillance footage from the hospital parking garage showed Gisele near Michelle's car on the night of her disappearance. Phone records revealed chilling details. Gisele had been tracking Michelle's movements for weeks, using GPS and stalking her online. Investigators also found threatening messages Gisele had sent to Michelle, painting a picture of a woman consumed by rage and obsession. In 2012, Gisele Esteban stood trial for the murder of Michelle Lee. Prosecutors described her premeditated plan to harm Michelle, presenting compelling evidence including surveillance footage, GPS tracking, and threatening messages. The defense argued that Gisele's actions were not premeditated, claiming she acted in a moment of rage. However, the evidence of her detailed stalking and planning proved otherwise. After weeks of emotional testimony, Gisele was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Michelle's death left an irreplaceable void in the lives of her family and friends. Her loved ones described her as a beacon of light, someone who had dedicated her life to helping others. In the wake of her murder, Michelle's family established a foundation in her name, focusing on promoting safety and providing support for families of missing persons. Her story serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked obsession and the importance of addressing threats before they escalate into violence. Michelle's life was one of kindness, ambition, and dedication. Though her dreams were tragically stolen, her memory lives on through the love of her family and the foundation created in her honor. Rest in peace, Michelle. You will never be forgotten. What are your thoughts on the tragic murder of Michelle Lee? How can we better prevent similar tragedies in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories like this one. Thank you for watching.